This is a short video on where the knock sensor is really located on the 2001 Ford F-150 4.2 liter engine. It's located at the back of the driver's side cylinder head, and I'm going to show you where that is. I ran into this issue because I was changing the seals in the middle and upper intake, and I noticed there was a connector in the back with wires ripped out of it. So the question was to find out where these wires went, and they eventually was determined that they went to the knock sensor. This video shows a retainer clip on the back side of the wire loom, which holds this connector in place. So it's really hard to see because it's behind the wire loom. You have to unsnap it from this retainer, pull it out in front so that you can see it. And that's when I realized that the wires were severed on the connector. So once again, this little clip here in the back, as part of the wire loom, holds that connector out of sight. This connector had the wires ripped off of the right-hand side of the connector, which I guess would be the plug, and that should have gone to the knock sensor. Instead, they were just ripped off right here. I don't know if that was on purpose, by accident, by a previous owner. Initially, I didn't know that this little tube-looking thing right here is actually a a sheathed cable going to the knock sensor. And the separation had occurred right here. So I'll show you where the knock sensor is really located, even though it's very hard to see. This is a video clip taken with an endoscope, and as you can see, the knock sensor is right here. And the end of it is right here, and it's severed. It's not connected to the connector anymore. So that's my problem. And one other thing I want to point out is that it's right next to this damper door, the intake IRMC door. That's where it's located, just slightly below that on the driver's side. So the question is, can you get your fingers on this 13mm head bolt to remove the knock sensor? And the answer is yes. You just have to deal with this wire loom that's right next to it, which interferes. But you can reach back there. It's just about as hard as taking the rear bolts out of the upper intake plenum. Here's a picture of a typical replacement knock sensor. One peculiarity though, my truck does not have any knock sensor codes, even though it has an open circuit. So I'm not sure what's up with that. I'm going to resolder the wires on the connector. I'm not buying any knock sensor because I don't trust third-party sensors. I'd rather use the original sensor. I'll remove the knock sensor, remove the pins from the connector, solder the wires to the pins, put the pins back in the connector, and reinstall the knock sensor. This way I'll have factory original knock sensor instead of some third-party knock sensor. So I hope you found this video informative, and have a good day.